Hello and welcome. This is Playing Favorites
in person.
See? In person.
It's not a digital effect. We don't use the budget of the movie we're about to talk about.
This is
Okay,
no green
all right.
screen. Oh,
that's good.
exposing.
Don't do that. Anyways, yes. So yes, we're in person. We are together in a basement.
Yeah, somewhere in an undisclosed location.
Yes. Yes.
It felt like we were recording like a kidnapping video or something down here.
Maybe we did. Don't tell
it's
anyone.
you who's being kidnapped though.
But yeah, so we are finally together doing an in-person recording. We've talked about this for many years. Before we started this episode, we're just gonna have a little reflection.
Sure.
This is 5 years. 5 years we've been doing this podcast, and we have officially done. This would be 100th episode. 100 episodes we've done this. It's come a long way. We took us 3 years to start one, and then 5 years to make one. So
3 years of trying to convince me. Yes. Yep.
But we're here doing a 100th episode in person. Thought it was important to do it very special, and talk about a movie that kind of we'll talk about the movie in a second. I don't know if you've guessed from our last episode. It's been a while since that one, but we have a movie we're going to talk about in just a second. Before we get into it, Paul, what do we usually do here?
This, Justin, is the podcast where we take some favorite of ours, and try to find out some category and try to find out what's the favorite thing about that. We've got a pretty extensive back catalog at this point, and some of it has to do with our favorite things, but at this moment, Justin, I want to encourage people, if they haven't watched some of our videos of, going through some of these games together from the past. We were just talking about our Resident Evil playthrough and how insanely fun and funny that was, being chased by, what's his name? Mr. Bad?
Mr. X.
Mr. X. I forgot.
Mr. X. We gotta get back to playthrough stuff.
Oh
That'd
my
be
gosh.
fun.
It was so scary.
Oh my god, your reactions to some of those things were so beautiful.
Genuinely scary.
Yep.
And then at one point I did just pass out.
Yep. Fell asleep at the end of the game. I don't understand.
I don't remember
but
the
anyways,
ending.
But yeah, we've been doing a lot of this podcast has relatively stayed the same. It's a conversational podcast. If you haven't really been with us before,
we looked for a gimmick. We found the best one that we thought we could, finagle to our purposes, just to give us an excuse to hang out and talk with each other.
But there's something I'm going to do really quick with you. We haven't done this in a while. This is kind of what we used to do.
This is a test.
I'm going to give you a surprise topic.
Justin.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh my gosh, this is a surprise.
Surprise topic before we talk about because we've been more focused on movies lately, but we're going to talk about do a surprise topic. We used to do these a lot to kind of throw each other off. What is your favorite moment of playing favorites?
Favorite moment of playing favorites? That's, oh my gosh, it's a tall order. We've had a lot of favorite moments that weren't on camera, though. A lot of them would happen right before we would start an episode.
I've been starting to put those into the show now.
Because we would just get going, and before we'd even start to be like, oh man, if only we had just recorded that. So yeah, you very smartly just started hitting the record button and keeping some of that. But favorite moment overall, I gotta say, I loved our tournament of favorites when we had our friends coming in, at the end of our first season. It was kind of
it was season 1 versus season 2.
Oh, that's right, because that was the one with the live stream, and we had them coming in, and they were in the chat, going along with this, and it was just fun to kind of go through, because that was us reflecting on 2 years.
Yeah,
and so now I reflect back, and I was like, wow, over the last 3 years, though, I've been doing movies.
Yeah,
Spawn was very good for me. You've been violated, girly man.
Well, I mean, I guess my answer would be kind of similar. I honestly liked when we first started doing the movies with bonus episodes. I like those. And honestly, Young Frankenstein was probably my favorite. So fun. One of my favorite moments. I mean, that just, oh man, they're so hard to pick one, but just our little because we got a little more creative with that one. Where we had the flashing, we would pretend to look around,
yes, we try to include some kind of special effects into the episode.
We did some black. We did it all in black and white, by the way, which I thought was kind of neat too. But yeah, there's a bunch of side things. Honestly, it's funny to say this, but some of just the mishaps that we've gone through too are kind of They're not favorite moments, but they kind of just make it worth it when we get through it and we figure it out. Like
they're part of who we are.
Like just think of when we used to use Anchor to record the one time.
Oh my gosh!
And if you go listen, just if you ever go back to our original episodes, our favorite duo, I think episode, because we talked about Spock and Kirk in that one.
Yes.
Or favorite side. I had to like patch that with like glue and stitches and everything because we used to use an Anchor. We used to use Anchor to do our recordings, and we tried it, and it just kept shutting down on us every single time we try to do it. Like every 5 minutes. Like
I think we can say this now because we no longer do the Anchor advertisement.
It's true. They got rid of
Anchor is not the best source for doing your podcast. Yeah, it is not easy to use. No. It is not.
It's not. You know,
that is purely opinion.
We made
that is
$40 from that.
My own personal experience. I'm sure other people have had great experience with it, but for us, it bit. It bit hard.
But yeah, so it's we just I wanted to take a moment just to. There's some.
I pour one out for Anchor, but I just
we could spend probably like a whole episode reflecting on our show. It and honestly, like again, if you haven't listened to us before or first time here, it's been a while. I mean, we've done a lot. We kind of like we're trying to. We kind of ran out of favorites to do, so like we've been like kind of like trying to find our ground again because it really kind of like we didn't know what else to do as a topic. We tried to do a news show for like a little while, and that didn't work.
We tried doing that. We tried doing the like reviewing a game. I think we tried to like
that was hard. Yeah,
and actually committing to. We got pretty good at doing the Let's Play for a little while. We were doing like the Mega Man, all that, and just got so much because those games were so big.
Well, we're just dads that are just.
It's true.
It's only too much. There's only so much you can do.
Like we would do a couple successful like one-offs, like ice hockey. That was it. It's tough. It's tough, man. To commit to that.
But here now today, again, kind of a callback to one of our first few episodes. We had a very in-depth conversation about this movie. I don't remember. I think it was just a surprise topic, right? It was favorite Kevin Costner post-apocalyptic movie, and I'm just like, wait, there's more than two?
And I found that there was a third one that neither of us knew anything about. Nobody knows anything about.
So we
I don't even remember the name of it, to tell you the truth.
You said it was like the best one too, but
apparently it's the most critically acclaimed of the three. But it's not saying much.
Yeah, so we wanted to talk about this movie for a while, and honestly, when we started doing these older movies that we just talked about, honestly, it never dawned on us until recently. It's like, why have we not rewatched Waterworld? Like, why haven't we done it? I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. Like,
I feel like it was a movie that I had talked about so much. I had seen it so many times. I would have suggested it, if it was like, I don't know, if it was at a certain point in my life before we were doing the podcast, if you said, let's talk about Waterworld, I would have been like, yes, right now, let's sit down and do it. But, I had seen it so many times and I was like, all right, I'm done like watching that movie. I tried to like be a champion for it like a little bit. Like I was like, people need to see this because it's just so crazy. Like, but the ideas there are like kind of cool. I don't know. It's like it's an interesting thought experiment, but it just fails at so many things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, but I remember. Oh, go ahead.
No. I want to hear what you're going to say. I was just going to say it's very close to us.
The thing is, like, I've kind of like, I feel like I've lived vicariously with that movie through you.
I've like memorized that movie
because like I watched it as a kid, but you would always talk about it like either with quotes or just kind of referencing that it's like this movie clip, and I kind of like would live that movie through just talking about the movie with you, and I'm just like, wow, I have not seen that movie since it came out. I remember we rented it on VHS, watched it one time, and I'm like, wow, that was kind of a wild movie. Like, that was kind of neat. I was 12 years old or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, that was it. And then I remember being like, hearing all the reports that it was just like, everyone knows about it. It's like so over budget, the most high production thing. I mean, we go to Universal Studios and see it in action because they would do it as like a show and stuff and all that stuff. But then I just like, I had never watched it again. But like now we have watched it again. been doing this together too. Like we'd watching movies together through a stream. You haven't watched those yet. Like we've done a few of those already, like Mario and Anaconda. That's a great episode.
That was so fun to watch together too. But, we were dying together, and I think that is what has made the difference for us in this kind of like transition from our old format, right, to where we are now. And I mean, I really like talking about these. They're not gems, but they left some kind of mark on us, like that we couldn't stop thinking about them. Like it might have been a cool idea, or just something like Anaconda. It was like a CG snake. We wanted to see like. Looked like such a terrible low budget thing.
It was good.
It was not bad.
It was way better than I remember it being.
Way better than it ever deserved to be.
Anyways,
but just fun.
Now, as far as Waterworld, normally our format here is Paul has some questions. Paul has some questions for us to like for me to answer our favorites, like what's our favorite character, stuff like that. But we actually for this episode have something a little more unique, right? We have something special. We have questions. From a fan.
A friend, definitely a friend of the show, a good friend of ours. Joe has provided us with some questions. We'll save, I don't know, do you want to start with his questions? You want to save them to the end?
Can you like mix them in? Like...
I was thinking there's a couple we could ask right off the bat, and then a couple we could save towards the end.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Your surprise topic, though, was very thoughtful, and I feel like before we go on and start really talking, I need to know a little bit more. You said your favorite moment was what again?
From Young Frankenstein making bonus episodes.
Making the bonus episodes. Do you remember a certain bonus episode with a man?
Oh yeah.
That I feel like was the most fun you had because it was like you were showing me.
Oh
like
that
I had no experience with, and you were
so
like
happy that you liked it too.
Yes, and like I remember that as a like. Moment I knew that you loved because it was like you were sharing something that you were so yes, you're finally seeing this. I haven't given you something like that in a while too. I gave you Bloodsport and it was
we're gonna get to Dark City soon, don't worry. But you've seen that before, so it's not the same. But yeah, so what's your first question you got for me about Waterworld?
Justin, I want to focus first on the positives. All right? I feel like we're doing an autopsy a little bit here. So let's display the body. You know, because after we watched it, it was like a part of us had died. There were a lot of creepy things that we never noticed.
Sure.
And as adults now, maybe having children.
But you've watched him since you were a kid. Did you not notice it?
Not since I've had kids. No, I haven't watched Waterworld since having kids.
Okay, gotcha.
It's been that long, and I hadn't really like thought about the plot or like what's going on with the little girl, just like the map, right? But the whole point is that they're chasing after. How old is she? Would you say she's like a?
That'd be like 12. I would say like a young-looking 12-year-old. It's probably 12. Like I would say she's 12.
Sixth grader, is that around there? Sixth grade.
Well, yeah, my daughter is 10, and she's an older 10-year-old. She's an older fourth grader, so she'll be 11 and.
So yeah, that. And the way that they costumed these people,
that was a big thing we talked about. I even thought that when I was a kid.
So gross. Yes, and it's like uncomfortable. Yeah. But nobody really talks about it. It just kind of like the movie transpires.
She's dressed as if because she has the shorter hair-ish thing, or like the dreads,
the braids, yeah.
And it's like it made me think it was for a while with the marketing and stuff. When I was a kid, I always thought it was a boy.
Oh,
like I kind of like initially like I thought it was kind of like a boyish figure because it's like. It was more exposed of an outfit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the dreads too. Like we had so many dreads was like kind of a thing back then.
Yes, there was a brief 90s affinity for Rastafari and stuff.
Yeah.
Like somebody went to Jamaica and just like sent a lot of pictures home and everybody.
Exactly. So like but yeah, popular. Like her dress is really like it's really unsettling a little bit.
Yes. And it's like I just wondered if anybody like on set was like, this is kind of skeevy. Should.
There's so many bad things that happened back in the 90s in Hollywood with that stuff. Right?
Gosh.
Right?
Yeah. And I mean, and honestly, so this is my first real question. We'll come back to the positive stuff. We can go with
you're not going very
So we were
positive.
going to go positive first, but I guess we'll go right to the negative thing. My question to you is, if you've seen this movie, you know, like the map to dry land is supposedly tattooed on the back of this little girl.
Yes.
My question to you, why a little girl? Why does it have to be a little girl? Couldn't have been the person who cares for her? Couldn't it have just been her?
Well, I think
she could be like, I've been trying to find somebody to read this map for years. Like, I know it's the way, but
So
she could.
Why they decided to make that the narrative, I have no idea. I can explain the reasoning of what they have given and provided us. I mean, her parents were dying. They're on their deathbed when they find her, right? You find them at the end, they're just dead.
Yes, her parents are on their deathbed. They send her out.
Yeah, like I think they're dying, and they like, oh, we're gonna die soon. So like they just sent her in a boat just to hope for the best to see if she could live. And for some reason, put a tattoo on a baby.
Yeah,
that expands.
Yeah, like this kid's growing like a mile a minute at that age too, right?
Did they plan did they plan for the map to like grow? And
then it'll actually read. It actually is in English.
Yeah,
and it just like needs time to expand into an adult.
So like, if they waited like maybe like 5 years, maybe it would have been in better directions. Like it's like maybe it wouldn't have been so confusing because like maybe they're like like this is actually north and south. You guys have got it all wrong. Like,
and what is this map? It's just an arrow pointing up. It's the most unhelpful map I think I've ever seen.
So bad.
It's like coordinates. I get it. Like that's what like is hidden in there.
The actual like best way, because I'm so good at like figuring out plot holes.
No, what you're good at is taking cement and filling plot holes and saying this is good enough. Don't worry. I see what they were doing. This is what you do. You're an apologist.
Like
you just apologize.
It makes sense. So like if you think about it, it's like like I'm dying. What do we do with our daughter? Well, we gotta.
How are both of them dying at the same time? Like
maybe they got bit by a snake.
They both got bit by the same snake?
Yeah, an anaconda.
So my question to you. My point. Did you say what's your dumb question?
No, I said I didn't even get the question yet. Not dumb.
No, my question is why the little girl? Like, isn't there a way you can do this without a child actor?
Oh, there's so many ways you could do it.
How would you do it? How would you do it? You have the same thing. You have to get a tattoo on the back of a person. How would you do it? I think I would do
a necklace. Like just have a necklace of a map in like any like like I don't know, like just like simplify it. Like first off it shouldn't be a tattoo.
Okay. All right, you don't like the idea of the tattoo.
No tattoo. Right. Make the girl a little older. It has to be a girl.
Okay, it has to be a girl. Can we make her like
maybe like 15 or 16? Like a teenager. Okay. She doesn't quite know where it came from.
Okay.
Like doesn't get that part. Like think Lone Star on the in like this little like his
from Spaceballs. Yes. It's like the medallion and he's like, I take it to every wise man. Yeah. Nobody can read it. Oh, yeah. And that's what it is. She doesn't know what it is.
Exactly.
She doesn't know it's the map to dry land, and maybe the Mariner's the only one.
That's there
because he's reading those National Geographics at the bottom of
like watch. It's just like it's just like a it's in.
Why did they call Joss Whedon? They should have called us. We could have doctored this.
It's in some sort of foreign language that's like English and like and it mentions Earth. They don't know what that is, right? Because it's like Waterworld.
Oh, that's all right. That's also one of my questions: is what year do you think this is? Because that's never said.
Yeah, that's true.
How quickly do you think the oceans rose? Because it seems to me like it happened overnight. Because this is the best that humanity can come up with.
Well, if you watch the beginning, it shows you. It shows you in the Universal logo.
Justin, do you remember that terrible movie? Was it The Day After Tomorrow? Or
it's called The Day After Tomorrow. I never watched it.
Is that the one with the?
No, that is a movie.
The one with John Cusack. He drives a limo through.
I don't know.
Oh, that might be the 2012.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah.
In 2012, I saw that movie in theaters.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's completely forgettable. All I remember is a giant limo chasing an earthquake is chasing a limousine, like the earth splitting. Chasing.
Okay, all right. Anyways,
John Cusack is a great driver. But
where you going with this?
In that movie, 2012, they have like spaceships basically in giant like ark type ships to withstand the waters of like the giant flood that was coming, or like to take people away, like the wealthy and the affluent or smartest people, whatever. There's an escape plan. In Waterworld, it's like the waters rose, like somebody filled a bathtub and it just like instantly came up and people were like, oh, what do you got? Grab a notebook, grab a chair, like let's make an atoll. Like it happened overnight. Like this is the best that humanity can do. Like it's disappointing. So it's got to be really far in the future.
Yeah, that's they've lived this way for a while.
Yes.
Right? So, and I would think, so I don't know. Like, I can't think of an actual date. Like, I mean,
feel like it's got to be like 45, 20 or something.
I mean,
like so far in the future.
I can see it being 1,000 years.
Okay.
That's like the earliest I think it can be.
30, 12.
But what's weird is that you have is a Walkman that's in like in the deleted scenes, obviously.
A Sony Discman.
Oh, is it a Discman?
It's a Sony Discman.
Oh, so we're a little more
Discman.
advanced. A little more advanced. Yeah, I can't tell. We were wondering about that watching the movie. It's like how
he's got batteries. He's managed to salvage AA batteries.
Like
so it feels like it had to have happened. Like boom. Like did somebody like a villain somehow create more water? Like a super like
the ice caps.
Well, that's true. But I mean,
that was what they said.
Did he like a Lex Luthor type villain get like a heat ray? And like, or a giant magnifying glass point it? Is it just climate change? Like,
I don't know, Paul. I think you're overthinking.
Answers. Give me answers. You're here in person.
Like, I
can actually choke you for
You just have to accept that it happened. Sometimes there's not an answer.
That's okay.
That's life.
This is what I wrote. Civilization fell hard. Like, fell on its face.
I mean, okay, like let's be realistic for a second. If our civilization, like think the 90s, we grew up and lived.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. If all of a sudden water just started creeping up really fast.
Yep.
And like we started running away from it.
Yes.
And being like pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And do you think we would have a really great chance?
Well, I just think about all the Navy ships that are already out there, all the nuclear submarines that are already out there.
Yeah, no, there's one in the movie.
Oh yeah, there is is it a nuclear sub?
Well, it was a boat. It was like a big like military boat at the end. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, you mean the Juan Valdez?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the smokers.
Yeah, their big ship.
It's an oil tanker. Yeah.
But it's like, I guess like I seen like if Zelda Wind Waker can make it work.
I'm sorry.
I think Waterworld can make it work.
Okay. If the Juan Valdez had sunk, which it did, and they salvaged it. Got it running again. Smokers did. If this is 1,000 years in the future, if that boat had sank, it would have dissolved 1,000 years. It would have.
Well, that was another thing we brought up with the movie.
Gone.
Is that
there would be nothing.
How
left.
is the oil still good? And the
gas
and
there's still like refined oil.
Like we were joking about that. Like where did they find the jet skis from, and why
they're like in mint condition?
I know. So yeah, I guess so maybe not 1,000 years. I guess 50 years. I don't know. I mean, like
it seems like 2. Like really, it seems like a year or 2 from now we could be living in Waterworld.
But no, like they could have like the jet skis could have like had they really stumbled on a mummification factory. Okay, it was like mummified in a way. It was like sealed airtight. There was like no bacteria in there whatsoever.
Sure, like Aloy, where she came from. Okay. Horizon.
But yeah, there's so many ways you can figure that out. They just don't give you the answer. So you know what? Because they don't show you, it's possible.
Oh, okay, I see. It's like
there's no science to
the audience has to meet the art. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, there's no science for us to correct. There's no way to disprove their theory. Like,
wow, you are really going hard in the paint defending Waterworld.
You put me in this position. I can't. I have to be committed now.
I was just trying to ask. I was trying to get you to agree with me that they shouldn't have cast a little girl.
You asked me what age. Anyways, what's the next question?
Well, no, I want to tell you my idea because I think yours is a good idea. I like that it's not. I like the just straight up stealing the idea from Spaceballs. Like, I bet Mel Brooks would even laugh if you did it identical. Like, it's like, I've said it to every wise man and nobody can tell me what it means. I'm sure he would laugh hysterically, like, and appreciate the homage. But for me, I would keep the tattoo, but I would put it on an adult who has like amnesia or like doesn't remember a certain part of their life. And then you turn out to find out that this person is originally from dry land and they like were on an expedition to kind of like recruit people to bring back and got washed ashore.
Okay.
Hit his head on a rock. I don't know. A coconut fell on him.
But how is the Mariner going to have a character development and become a good stepfather?
You're giving away my secret. That the way it is written now feels like it's a stepfather marrying into a family.
I know, we talked about this
and learning about like how to deal with a child who's never had a child before. She's like taking his crayons. Like, these are my crayons, mine.
I have to say, them putting the child in there though, like regardless of like story and narrative things, it made me want to watch the movie as a kid. Right, so like it sort of like it wasn't meant for kids.
Music. Yes, but they had like whimsical music during some of these action.
About that.
Yes, it was like so off-putting because you'd have these really kind of dark, gritty moments where like potential rape scene with
seriously, that was
Anala's mother. I forget her name. Jean Triplehorn is the actress's name. I would have kept her, have the tattoo on her back, and like have lost her memory. I don't mind the age; could be like 20s, like early 20s, but I'd want her to be like. Kind of like the Mariner a little, like she's a little hardened, like she's a seafarer.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they kind of see eye to eye, but they meet at the atoll, and who knows? Like
there's
it in a way.
There's a structure there that could have worked, like the how everything happened. I just think it was too much. Just like, well, we need to move it this way, so like we'll just randomly have this thing blow up. Like it was just too many random things that happened.
Explosions ended a lot of scenes. If you really know, like scenes end because things start blowing up.
And sometimes,
and then it's like, okay, now we have to run to the next scene.
And sometimes I'm wondering why they put certain things in the movie. It's like what's
like what?
What's the main villain's name? Or what's his name?
Oh, Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, Dennis Hopper. Do you have his name? I don't remember his name.
They call him the Deacon.
Deacon. So like, just have him have it past the whole movie. Like, why do you have to like have him lose his eye? Like.
Well, because now he's extra angry at the Mariner.
Though that
not
scene,
just a little.
That
angry.
scene was pretty funny with them doing the eyes. Like that. Was
when he tried it on, and they're like, "How's it look?"
It looked ridiculous.
They're like, "Oh, it looks bad, not bad." And he's like, "What's up?" Where he asks the kid.
He
asks the kid. The kid's like, "What's up?"
But yeah, like the smoker thing. Like But anyways,
okay.
We'll go get into that. I'm sure.
This is a good segue to Joe's question.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
His first question is... It's about the smokers. This is why. There we go. Is Smokers the best name for a villainous group ever in a movie?
That's a question. That's
his question. What do you think of that name?
I mean, it's oddly enough, like, I didn't realize why they were called smokers until like halfway through the movie.
And why are they called smokers?
Because they smoke, which again
literally
is another plot hole.
Smoke a lot of cigarettes.
Which is another plot hole. How do they find so many cigarettes?
And if paper is worth so much money, right? Or so much in this world, right? Because they have the guy who barters with them. He's like, look what I have. Paper, real paper. It's like, he's got actual paper on those cigarettes. The fact that they have packs and packs and packs of this stuff. They're rolling in like the currency of this.
Yeah, but that's
world.
What you do when you're like, a deacon of a.
Oh, you just burn money? Is it like the guys lighting cigars with $1 or $100 bills?
Yeah, they're so well off. Like he's like, I don't care if we smoke these cigarettes. That's our thing. That's what makes us be better at being smokers.
Well,
we smoke.
the way that it works is that they're all like children, a lot of them. He gets them hooked on cigarettes, and then they're working for the deacon.
Personally, I feel like they should have been called the Spams because, like,
SMEATs.
the SMEATs,
Please,
the smoking SMEATs.
We're not product placement. The smoking meats, yes.
That's right. It wasn't really Spam. It was Spam.
It was meant to be looking, but
SMEAT. Like, I remember making a comment about that. Like, I'm like, why is all this SMEAT in the background? Like, why is this for? Like, why? And then you were like, he just starts throwing it at the end.
Yeah. It's like, like a politician.
See, again,
candy in a parade.
He must have found, like, I'm going to say, he must have found an area where it was like, maybe like when the water came up, it seeped under like a plate of the earth, pushed up a department store above the water.
Which department store? You're talking to Bradley's, Macy's, Hess, Target? What are you talking about?
The original Walmart. I don't know. Like
Sam's Choice.
And like it just that's where they get that and that's where they get all their stuff from. They brought it to a boat.
Okay.
Sure, why not?
I feel like the brand of cigarettes that they had looked like they were making them themselves or something. I don't know.
They looked really they looked like legit like good cigarettes. I don't think they were just like rolled up randomly.
No, they looked like real machine made, like Lucky Strikes or something. They're all like unfiltered cigarettes.
I know, it was so weird.
I don't know where they're so much more well off than everybody else. What do they want from anybody else? Like they want to find dry land? Like is that the point? That's the
thing
motivation?
About the story I didn't get. It's like,
their population. That's right. That's why
he needed more room.
Because their population is exploding and like they don't have any more.
And they're running out of gas.
They were down to 4 feet 9 inches of the black stuff. Your deacon ship. Good morning or evening, whatever the case may be.
And like I want that oil though, because like if that oil can like last that long, I want it for my lawnmower. Like just so it doesn't get bad.
Must be the really good stuff, like the high octane.
Yeah, sure.
Pay $1 more a gallon for that stuff.
And so that tanker, by the way,
yes,
really quick, just that tanker. Is it like stuck where it is? Right, it doesn't move. Does it move?
It does move. They have ours.
Because it like the sides look like it's like its sides look like it's stuck in a rock, and I'm like, if it's on a rock, what?
Yeah, well, the sides look weird. I think that I don't know. It's like what do you call it? Barnacles and stuff.
Oh, is that what it is?
And like
I
don't know.
It makes me think of like, isn't that land? Like it's on a rock. Like
they are on dry land. Like they could make the most. They could turn that into a city if they wanted to.
Yeah,
it is kind of a city,
sure.
But it looks like a giant like warehouse with hammocks. Like that's where everybody lives. Like families and families upon families of hammocks. All right, I think we should take a quick break.
Oh yeah, but I have a question.
All right, please hold your questions, and I haven't even gotten to half of my questions. We've got more to go. All right, so we'll take a quick break. Right. And we're back. Oh yeah, Justin.
Here we are. Nothing's free in Waterworld. We didn't say that yet, so I wanted to bring it in. So I have a question.
Oh, please.
Are there any girls in the smoker group? Or are they only guys?
I think there are wives.
Are there?
That live in the hammocks.
Okay, I don't remember seeing a girl.
I think they might have been.
Oh, there was a random
parade.
There was like a girl that was in the room doing his eye, right? Was there a girl in there?
Feel like maybe there was a girl. There was somebody. There were girls around. There are women there.
It definitely seemed more male populated than female. Like this Waterworld.
Sure, and it sounds like they're pumping out kids too, and they're running out of space on their giant tanker ship. But then again, they have like a giant runway, so I don't know what their deal is. But it seems like it's the worst. Like they're all just rowing. They're just rowing a giant ship.
Well, that's right, because it doesn't have a motor. It's just a rowboat. Big. All right, so we have more questions about this ridiculous movie.
So, this is a kind of like a what if style question. Okay, So, do you remember the actor in the scene? We watched a little bit of it. You don't like it. It's a creepy scene. It's the guy. His name is Kim Coates, the actor. The guy who's kind of crazy, who's like, "Not for sale, it's not for sale, not for sale." The guy he trades the paper with.
Oh yeah.
Looking at me like I'm crazy.
I don't
like,
remember
this
that.
Is from the movie.
I don't remember. Well, it's been we've been trying to plan this, and it's been a while since we watched it, so it's a little.
Also,
I don't remember that.
If I've learned now, sitting next to you, that you look at the looks that you give me through the camera are much different in person. In person, they're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I'm like, "You've seen this movie." All right, so, all right, you know who I'm talking about? That guy.
Yeah.
All right, and
Yeah,
Kevin Costner ends up killing.
Yes, because he has like a second. I don't understand how that happened, but like he just decides like, you know what, I don't like this trip. I'm gonna go save her now because it didn't really seem like I cared. Now I'm gonna save her.
He was gonna let him have half an hour, 10 minutes, whatever they agreed.
At least he agreed not to do the other one.
Yeah, terrible. So his question is, okay, think about those actors. Imagine that actor Kim Coates, not crazy, but he's been in other stuff. Might have seen him in other things. Have you?
I don't remember. You mentioned
he's a character actor. He's been in stuff.
Okay.
Imagine if he was the Mariner in this movie. Do you think this movie would work? If it was a different actor, I think that's what he's kind of going for.
So I was thinking about this actually.
He's like, what if they switch roles? And it makes me think like, what if?
I don't think Kevin Costner to come off as like that crazy.
No, but I'm thinking who would be a better Mariner, like in that position.
I don't know if that actor particularly would be the better Mariner, but I think the Mariner,
he could play it well. I think.
I feel like it should have been a younger.
Okay.
Because, but like I don't know, it's weird because they're making him. I don't really hate Kevin Costner as a Mariner. I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world.
Nowadays, it would be like who you would get, Jason Momoa.
Sure.
Even like Adam Driver or somebody like that.
Well, you'd want someone that's like, I mean, Adam Driver with his shirt off isn't like the most appealing thing to do, to be quite honest. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a.
There's a niche of people.
I don't know who this. You know, if you want to be like thinking of that way, like Kevin Costner was kind of a big name back then. So I get why they had him do it, and obviously,
yes.
I think he was he was a big part of wanting to make this movie too. So,
yep. But to be fair, he was also past his prime that way, like action movie. I mean, he could do it. He did fine. He did great. Like honestly, him like knowing the boat, that I think is my favorite aspect of the movie altogether. That intro when they show him like how he sails, I think that's the most interesting part.
Well, that boat's the best part. That's like I love the boat. The boat's cool. I don't think it has a name. But yeah, like
it's a catamaran, but it's like some variation of.
I don't know if the other guy being the Mariner would have. If you kept the same exact story, like it didn't change a single thing. Like I don't think that would have helped or made it better.
This needs more.
If anything, I feel like that other actor within that plot, Kevin Costner is a better fit.
And you know why? Because it didn't ruin Kevin Costner's career. But if it was Kim Coates, it would have ruined his career.
I wasn't thinking of it that way, but okay, I get. No, but I just think like if you needed that person to
Costner
be
could take that risk.
That you needed that person to be so gruff and like so so just like it's almost like he's been that way for too long.
Unlikable.
Yeah, like if you have a younger actor like that with that plot, it doesn't come off. It looks like he's just like he's inexperienced and whatever, and like he's just. I don't know. It doesn't. It wouldn't come off as like that weird, gruff, like antisocial.
So the age is kind of an important thing. It has to be kind of an older person.
So. I think it makes it kind of weird.
You know who would be a good pick for this? I think to do that would be he's the guy who played Skwisgaar in the Dune movie. The Fremen who comes and meets, who spits, and they say thank you for your gift of water. The guy who plays it in the new one. I think he would be he's got like a beard. He would be a good choice, I think, for that role. For the Mariner. He seemed like a sailor kind of guy.
I just had a thought.
Who?
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Like like 90s Liam Neeson. Like I'm
Rob
thinking,
Roy?
I'm thinking,
Rob Roy.
I'm thinking Qui-Gon Jinn Liam Neeson, but not like that kind of face a little bit, but not the shorter hair. Shorter hair.
I think you have to go
younger than that.
Yeah.
I just see Liam Neeson like
I
in
could
that.
see him do.
I feel like you needed to have like an accent to him, like not Kevin Costner just talking in monotone.
It needs to have some kind of. That's why, honestly, like not Jason Momoa, but you need some kind of like, I don't know, there to be an accent. I agree, like some kind of, he knows a lot of the different trade languages. Like they have the one universal language,
yeah,
which is just English.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
What did they call it? Portucan. Like they.
Oh, I don't remember. Is that what they called it?
Like my brother remembers. Like I remember he like was so excited when he saw this movie. He was telling me all about it, and he was like, "Yeah, not even English is English anymore. It's like a combination of languages."
I forgot about that. Like it's right. They did have like a weird name for the language. I don't remember.
And there was a separate language they called like the trading language, sailing.
Yeah, I'm like kind of curious.
Which is accurate to like sailing cultures. There's like the pidgin language that a lot of the tradespeople from different parts of the trade route know. So even if you're far away, you can still kind of speak the language.
Portu Greek.
Portu Greek.
Yep.
So a mixture of Portuguese and Greek.
What?
Portu Greek.
What?
We don't know it's called Earth anymore, but we know what Portugal is.
I don't understand.
Portugal, you're hot shit. Because I mean, you got to know what Greece is. Greece is like the foundation of so much like Western culture, at least. But I mean, I'm not trying to rip off Portugal.
I'm trying to think of anyone else.
They know the name Portugreek, but they don't know the name of Earth.
Well, because they get these artifacts from the Mariner. He's the only one that can go underwater. So like,
he's the only one that really knows.
Is there another mutant that can do this? Like they seem to know what a mutant was.
Well,
he's not the only one, right?
No. Well, we don't know.
But they knew he was a mutant. They knew he was a mutant. So like, it's not like it's the first time they've ever seen a mutant.
Correct, but it could have been somebody in their village had a mutant. They might have just like sacrificed the child, like they would have done in any like ancient civilization, like a child born with deformity or something wrong with them. Instead of they would just like in Sparta, they just toss the babies. They look at the baby and they're like, I don't like the looks of him.
Yeah,
and just goodbye, babe. And then a pile of baby skulls. That's what I remember from 300. That's what I take away.
I love how you're bringing all these other movies into this. like you're just sort of trying to figure out.
Gerard Butler would be a good Mariner.
Sure.
Think 300 Gerard Butler. I think.
I don't see
giant
that.
Bushy beard. No, he would speak Portuguese. I can picture him speaking.
Just because he's a Spartan.
He's already halfway there.
You know what? I got the answer. No, I got the answer. You ready? You ready for this? Arnold Schwarzenegger. And easy done, right? Come on, let's do it. He's good with kids. Like, come on.
This is a Rocky Balboa style thing. This has got to be Sylvester Stallone.
Anyways.
Portuguese. It's the language we speak.
I mean, you can pick any other actor of the 90s. Sure. Why not? Brad Pitt.
Bruce Willis. I don't know. I would be afraid because I wouldn't know if Bruce Willis could swim or not because of Unbreakable. Remember? Unbreakable water is his weakness.
Sure. I didn't watch Unbreakable. I can't.
This is why Bruce Willis. What?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
You've never seen Unbreakable?
No, I missed it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Well, listeners, viewers, you've just learned what our next episode's going to be.
No, it's not. We're not watching.
We can't go a day further without Justin watching the only good M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh, come on, Signs. That Signs.
No, I'm being mean too.
Sixth Sense.
No. There are good. He has very good movies. There are some really good ones, and that is one of them.
All right,
to see it.
We will come back to that. Sure.
I can't believe that aside.
Waterworld. Go back. More questions.
All right. So, who would you say then? Who was your actor pick?
I was saying Liam Neeson.
So, younger Liam Neeson. All right. This one is about Dennis Hopper now.
Okay. You can't get rid of him.
Deacon. No, you can't get rid of him. But Joe's question is more about Dennis Hopper after this So Dennis Hopper was red hot coming off of True Romance, and then Speed.
Sure. Well, you don't forget the Mario Brothers movie.
Did this movie essentially end his career?
Haven't after that. Did you do anything after that?
Was the Mario like if the Mario Brothers movie came out after
that would have
Speed,
been before this one.
yeah,
Right?
and then this, yeah, that would have essentially ended. But he was in stuff.
Looking at his filmography,
I feel like Dennis Hopper was in stuff.
We never ask these kind of questions usually. These are different.
That is a very good question, Joe. Did this actually end?
It ruined.
I'm trying to think of something
Well, he was in Hoosiers
after that.
Hoosiers was after that.
No, but he's not a big part of
it. I mean, I'm just saying things. Mario Brothers was way before Waterworld.
Way before. Yes.
It was like 4 years before.
All right.
I think 93, 95. Oh, 2 years before. And obviously he's thinking yes because he probably looked this up already.
Yeah.
Right? He was in Land of the Dead, 2005.
That's not.
He was in Apocalypse Now Redux, 2001.
It's just the re-release.
Yeah, I was just gonna. As I said that, I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
Chasers, Knockabout Guys.
I don't. Yeah, I guess. But did this movie ruin it, or that just maybe the need to have him in a movie had
sweet
faded?
vote. Yeah, that's a good question.
Because I don't think this role would have made people not want to hire him.
It's not like, okay, this was Dennis Hopper's moment. It was the 90s.
Sure. But it was very
like late 80s, early 90s was Dennis Hopper, because before he made it, he was doing things like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Like he was, or 2, whichever one. He did the sequel. One of those. Like he was doing schlocky stuff.
I think,
and then he got some more serious roles, and Speed made him a legitimate actor. People started taking him seriously and not just some B-movie.
I just think that Speed made him big for a moment in time.
Yep.
I don't think he had a career.
Oh, did you hear that, everybody?
Yeah, I don't think
shots fired.
I know who Dennis Hopper is. It's not like I don't know him. I just think he got so popular because of 2 movies. Did he really have anything else beyond that?
Oh, I guess that's
Can I prove me wrong?
No, I'm not trying to prove you wrong. I don't disagree with you. I think, this is probably ended his the career part that we actually want to watch.
Yeah, I just think he got
his movies.
He got such a high.
Yep,
because he had a big, really good role of a villain. He got typecast as a villain, and he couldn't find another movie that would work for him.
It's just a villain.
Right? In that moment, that's what made him popular. I don't know of any other roles of Dennis Hopper that's not villain-esque.
But that's why True Romance was so good. That's why I think Joe was trying to say he had his second chance, because his speech to Christopher Walken, I think,
I didn't watch
True Romance. I gotta watch that again. I've only seen it once, but it was a really good movie. Tarantino wrote it, and I forget who actually.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that was one of his first films. Yeah,
but it is. There's this great speech, and Dennis Hopper is about to die, and Christopher Walken is like a mob boss that's chasing Christian Slater. I think Roseanne Arquette. I think that they're the 2 leads. They're the ones trying to escape. I forget. Anyway, they're in love. They're running away.
It's I'm gonna start doing a tally of every other movie we bring up in this episode.
Well, this is, I don't even want to put Waterworld on the cover of this. I just want to say 100th episode special.
I thought we were just going to screenshot of us. That's all.
Yes. And then
Kevin Costner in the corner somewhere.
A little tiny figurine of him right here.
Or actually, you know what? We could just have a picture of my back with a tattoo on it of a map. You got something?
Turn around. Let me get the Sharpies from... I want my wife to come around the corner with you against the wall with me drawing on your back.
Can I rewind something? Can I bring up that moment of our recording?
Sure. What moment?
It was off. It was off recording, and we had to turn the recording off.
Yeah.
You remember this?
Yeah, I think.
And Kristen comes down. It was all flustered with the kids.
Oh yes.
And she's like, Like she like started like swearing like left and right. That
I think you heard like someone did.
no, I thought she was so mad at you. I thought she was like, "Get here."
I think what she said was, "You fucking try."
Yeah.
Like believe it was something along those lines.
Yeah.
Like you effing do it.
And
Like literally, I'm like, if you see me on the video, I'm just like this.
we didn't
like,
do video at that time. That was before video.
That was
before our videos. 'Cause yes, if we didn't bring that up, we used to not do video stuff. But
it was just silent.
But I have audio.
Oh, I was just.
I have her. I had her in the audio. Like
Yep.
she comes up in there, and we just like. I don't even think we finished it that night. I think we just came back a different day.
Listen, those sleepless nights. I mean, it was like Diana was young. We were still.
Yeah.
And Julian was young too, so and it was like all exciting. The house was, occasionally you'd have waking up or not wanting to fall asleep.
Sure. That was.
And it gets frustrating when you lose your sleep after a while.
Bad moment for the moment. In the moment, it was bad, but like
Very funny,
reflecting over it,
we reflect on it much.
Yeah. No, I don't think Dennis Hopper was ruined by this movie. I just think that was all he got. That's my answer.
He had the what true romance could have done for him was give him more serious roles. He chose this. And seeing like the kind of shift in movies, I don't know. It's like he could have read the room a little better.
Maybe he sent him a good agent.
Yeah, that's true too. And I mean, he's typecast. Maybe nobody else was shopping around for him.
Yeah,
maybe,
again, like I think like
true romance.
Did anyone really know who Dennis Hopper was? Like really know who Dennis Hopper was?
They just know like a character actor kind of guy. Like, oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
like, don't trust that guy.
Everyone talked about Dennis Hopper for 2 years because Speed and this movie. Yes. Really, that's it.
Yeah.
Answer.
What is it? Pop quiz, hot shot, right? Like that's
the thing from the commercial.
The commercial.
Isn't there a commercial that does that?
That's from Speed, movie Speed.
Oh, it's in a. I think it's in.
Well, I bet it is. Like commercial based on Speed,
Anyways.
the movie that we're talking about.
No, I don't think it ruined his career.
Okay, because he had no career.
Yeah, exactly. That's my answer.
Blah.
He didn't have a good career.
Here begins on the 100th episode.
He literally admitted that he did Mario Brothers because he just needed to make money. Like, come on, he didn't have a career.
I say he had a career. He was a working man. He did what he had to do. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and he kept doing stuff afterwards. He just wasn't as popular.
That was his career. You can't say he didn't have a career. You can say he wasn't a megastar.
Yes, that's what I meant.
All right.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
He
had a career, though.
Okay.
Rest in peace, because I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Is he? Get your next question ready.
Okay. Look this up. No, I think he is dead, which is sad. But
never know.
Here we go. So this is a question for all of us.
All of us?
Of this particular age. Say like your late 30s, early 40s. For those of us who saw this movie in the theater, making us approximately, between 10 and 15.
I didn't see it.
Was this movie likely the first time you saw a naked screen?
Absolutely. On the big screen. Oh, big screen.
Big screen. I didn't see this.
I didn't see it in theaters, so I can't say I did. It was. I watched this on video with my parents.
I wanted to see this so bad.
Did we see her naked? It wasn't really naked. Like you saw like her butt, maybe. Yeah,
she drops her dress and you see her naked from the back. That's it. Like her full naked body, but just the back. The back.
I don't even know what movie that would be. I can't think of a movie where
what was the first movie you saw like a
naked person,
a naked something, or an allusion to?
Oh, just anything
no,
naked?
like naked thing. Somebody's.
Oh, I mean, I was like 5 years old.
Was it?
It was that movie I told you about. It's a comedy. It's called Ski something, or it's a comedy ski movie.
Oh, where they have to save the ski resort.
Well, it's just a ski resort movie, and it's just they always having sex all the time. I had on VHS. My parents recorded it. I can't remember the name of it. It's driving me nuts. Oh. And I used to show it to friends. When
you got to find gotta find it. I think for me it was Friday the 13th. First time I saw a movie.
But I can't remember. Like I'm thinking big screen though.
On the big screen.
That's the question, right? I don't.
That's true. That's what I saw. Like
I can't think of a movie that would have been. Maybe Fifth Element. Like kind
you
of.
saw that in theaters?
Yeah.
Lucky.
I think I did. Oh, maybe I didn't.
I would have loved.
I don't know if I did or not.
I'd love to see that.
No,
right
I don't think
now.
I did. Yeah, Fifth Element is a great movie. No, I can't because like I'm trying to think. Matrix was but that didn't have nudity.
No.
This is too long of a thought process. This is
Matrix.
I saw that in theaters.
This is gonna be like some like art movie. It's gonna be like Requiem for a Dream.
I didn't see that.
But it's gonna be something like that.
I saw that
at the
movies.
I saw that at the Uptown Theater.
Oh, you know what the answer is?
I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna kind of say. I don't know if this really counts. Forrest Gump. She's kind of naked, sort of kind of naked. She pulled her shirt off.
You do see like side boob. There's a lot of side boob in Forrest Gump.
I saw that.
I'll say. I didn't see that one in theaters.
I saw it in theaters.
Okay.
My answer.
Requiem for a Dream.
She's also like playing the guitar.
She plays the guitar. Yeah, she plays the Dylan song. For the guys. Yes.
But yes, Des Hopper did pass away. So rest
14 years ago.
Rest in peace.
All right.
Kevin Costner is still with us.
Well, I'll ask this. We know the answer to this, but I'll ask it in case those of you who are listening or watching might not. And I'll ask. Maybe you forgot.
Just ask the question.
But we just
go ask the question.
Finally, if I gave you 100 guesses, this is Joe's question.
This is from Joe. Okay.
Without looking at IMDb, could you guess what soon-to-be famous comedian?
Jack Black.
Yes.
We knew that.
Soon-to-be famous comedian.
Was he?
This was like right on the cusp.
Oh, was it?
Getting a little bit of notoriety.
Because we figured out watching the movie. Because I was looking at the cast while we were watching it, and I'm like, we missed him though. We didn't notice it was him.
He did this, and then within the same year or the year before, maybe he did the Jackal. Bruce Willis. He had a bit part as an arms. He makes like a swivel for a heavy gun, and he makes it it's slightly off balance. So Bruce Willis ends up killing him.
I can't remember.
I think he would have killed him anyways as the Jackal.
That's what the Jackal does.
I didn't see the Jackal. Oh, the Jackal is a good. There's a awesome scene where he paints.
Stop bringing up other movies. Stop.
I'm just giving us ideas for future episodes now. That's the whole point.
This is a brainstorming episode. That's all this is.
10 more episodes.
Waterworld, not really that important in this conversation.
Nobody should really watch it. It's not worth watching.
Oh, you should watch it. It's a good drinking game. I'd rewatch this one versus some of the other ones.
I would want somebody to watch.
I'd watch this again versus Bloodsport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, no. I want to see those Charlie Chaplin routines again.
You just gotta look at the Mentos video I sent you.
Those are more entertaining than the. Oh, come on. Entertainment value. I think Bloodsport does have this beat. In terms of entertainment value. How much fun per second you're having watching him run through the streets, getting chased by Forrest Whitaker.
I don't know. I had a blast watching Waterworld.
He also returned my Bloodsport DVD
finally
disc to me today.
Literally, so probably 5 years later.
Yes. So this whole project of getting you to watch this movie has taken what now? Feels like 14 years.
I don't know how long.
It's been more than 5 years.
Dark City's next. Coming. Again.
I'd give it a try. Like I said, I would give it a try. Give it.
Anyways.
And Joe, who offered us these questions, is a fan.
He is a fan of Dark City.
He has commented on how much. Okay. My question now. We've talked about our favorite the favorite thing really in this movie is the boat.
Yeah, well, the boat's the best part.
The boat is the coolest prop thing. Who has the coolest costume? There's a lot of janky costumes, weird stuff. Who really does look the best? Mariner, striped pants. I like it when he gets the ski boots.
I do like the outfit that the one Asian guy wears. That's like he was in the shadow. Remember, like
Oh yes,
he's got the
he
cool
was
hat.
yes.
He's got the cool hat.
Yeah, the cool visor. Yeah, a little Kung Lao kind of.
But honestly, I really like I think my answer though, for some reason, I like the guy that's in the little bunker, like in the oil boat. Like,
Mr. Suspenders with his cool glasses.
like I think that's like the most like. I don't know, the coolest character in the movie.
It's a cool little character set piece type of thing.
Like, they make him seem so important. Like, that shot of him in the oil is really cool.
It is, right? Like, so you got the shot down on him, and then the reverse shot, and then he spits, and the spit lands, and it knocks him over. Like, it's a great little scene.
No, I like
They
him.
both play it well.
Yep.
Like, it's a good shot. I agree with you. I like that. This isn't really costume, but it's just a cool scene. So, sure. But I will say, Dennis Hopper, I do like his costume as the Deacon. Epaulets and medals. When he's got his full regalia tossing SMEAT around.
Yeah, because I don't think really the costuming is really. I don't like. I'm trying to understand how they make their clothes. If they can't find fibers,
yes, that's why they're all made of like clothespins.
Are they made of seaweed? Like, I'm trying to understand what they're made of. Like, how do they have? Why do they even have clothing if they don't have dry land? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, that's
right.
Like, once again, this is the theory that the waters rose like overnight.
Are they made of like skid, like fish skin? Like,
I guess you could make leather out of like the hide of like a whale or like one of those.
So there's like a big monster they had or something.
They had like a big what looked like a hammerhead shark type of thing, but it looked like a megalodon or something.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So they could probably be taking the skin off of that, maybe using it.
But it definitely seemed more.
That's more thought, I think, than even they were giving costumes. We're like trying to source their materials.
I'm telling you, that is my favorite thing about bad
fish
movies
leather.
Is trying to like justify everything.
That's the theme of this. Fish leather. That's what makes it go around. Yeah, you can find a justification for just about it. Why they did what they did. Because obviously someone made those choices. What's my favorite costume? I don't have a favorite costume. They all suck. They're all weird. They make me uncomfortable looking at them. Even like the grown old men look like, I don't know, like hobos. I don't know how else to put it.
Dirty.
They just look like zombies the way that they're dressed. I'm like, all this water, none of you people look clean. Like, couldn't you like take a dip?
Water?
But still. Yeah, I guess
would it be diluted though? Like with all that water? Like,
and where are you getting your fresh water? Oh, you think that the salinity, the saltiness of the water
would dilute?
It's interesting.
Because all the ice would go into it.
So maybe you could survive drinking it.
But then why does he have that filtration system to pee in? You know, like obviously they don't drink it.
So it has to be. Still too salty. Still too salty. That's the way you fix things. You make it so you can drink the water. Got it. So all right. A lot of good. I don't even want to praise this movie anymore. I don't have anything to praise about it.
What is your favorite character? We haven't asked that yet. Are we getting there yet?
You know who I like in this movie? I like the guy, and he makes it all the way to the end. The guardian of the A-Team.
Yeah, I know.
I always like.
I was trying to think of who did call because he had a cool costume. I think.
And
I feel like it wasn't that bad.
Honestly, that whole scene is one of my favorite parts of the movie because it is just like an Old West saloon. Like, guy comes in. Like if we just turn it into the desert, the same thing works, right? Guy comes in on a horse, from the desert, comes into this town. They're like, we don't want any trouble. And he's like, I don't want any trouble. I just want to trade. So they trade a little, and then they're like, why don't you stay and marry my daughter? Try to get him.
Yeah, I think so.
Because they want to keep the gene pool diverse.
I just remember the second-hand man. We haven't really talked about him as much. He's there. Of the Deacon, the blonde-haired guy.
Oh yeah, I call him the German. I don't know what else. He's just tall.
He just seems like the other his main guy he goes to. Like it's like that scene could have been cool until like you show him and he's just like yeah, I hear there's a map on this girl, and it's kind of brings you to dry land. It's cool.
Oh yeah, he like bribes the guy. He's like the worst drunk ever. He's like, I just want to sip a hydro. Yes. Oh, that is such a weird opening. He's like, yeah, he's drinking the water. He's like, no, you gotta tell me. And he's like, all right, it's a little girl. You gotta have to rip it off her back. Like, he's such an awful human being.
Weren't they gonna do that at one point? They're gonna like cut it off her. They were like talking.
Well, yeah,
about
they
it.
were like, once they got her, they were like, well, what are we gonna do with this? Like, it's on the back, on her back. She was like, well, maybe if we cut it, stretch it, look at it. They're like trying to like figure out how they're going to do it. It's like,
what else do you know? Like, and what was the final revelation with the map? Like, it's like they were just upside down the whole time.
I think it was so stupid,
right?
Like,
it was just
like the numbers were just upside down. Like, you just had to.
It's like he looks at like that's goes. He finds like a picture and he's like upside down, and they get to dry land in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, well, no, it's not 5 seconds. It's a long journey, and they all like run out of water. They're barely
5
alive.
seconds of movie time.
Yeah, it's at the end of the movie. Like, you just want the movie to be done. You could either make this movie about them fighting the smokers, or you can make it about them finding dry land. But doing both, that's what we were talking about. Right? I think I mentioned earlier. Like, it's 2 movies, right? It's 2 movies like fused into one.
See, like, it could have been more of like an archaeology, like Indiana Jones type thing.
Yes.
Where it's like, okay, you need to go here to get this. Like, it's a bunch of MacGuffins, right? It's like,
yes. You know what would be a good movie series? We should develop this. The Pirates of Dark Water.
Yeah.
That is like because it's such an interesting concept. It would be an easy thing to be like, well, we can improve upon it. It's a cartoon.
Sure.
And who's really going to be like, hey, that's not my Pirates of Dark Water? You know, who cares?
I don't know.
But I feel like that's a similar kind of story. Like, it's questing. You know, you're trying to solve this problem, trying to fix the world.
I'm going to end this right now. If you're watching this still, please in the comments write how many times Paul has brought up a different type of show.
Different show. Movie.
Like,
anything to not talk about Waterworld.
Let me know if I'm right. I think it's about 7 right now. That's my tally.
So let's talk more about boats. I will say that Waterworld is great because it provided us with one of the best Simpsons gags, and that's the Waterworld arcade game.
Oh, that's right.
So Milhouse goes to play, and it costs 45 quarters, which is like $10. I forget what it is. It's like, but it ends up being $10.
40
to
quarters,
play.
10 quarters.
40 quarters, and you have to. There's somebody made the game, so it's like a point and click type of game. You have to do it. You have to add in the 40 quarters.
It's like Dragon's Lair, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
But Milhouse plays it, and he like walks 2 steps, and it's like, you have lost. And then he has to like, please insert 40 quarters like every time. It's so brutal. It's such a terrible game, but it was a good mockery of those arcade movie tie-in games.
So I have a question.
Yes, please.
So since this movie, obviously, plot is ridiculous, acting is to be desired. But it is a movie with a very big budget. What is your favorite special effect?
Oh, okay. If I was gonna say, like, there's a lot of good action sequences.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That's the positive. I love how you said at the beginning of this episode we're going to talk about the positives first.
we
have no positive whatsoever about this movie.
That is one thing I would say. It definitely,
except for the boat.
It definitely has great action sequences, even though some of them are like really comedic. Like at the very end, the smokers all driving towards the same thing, and like driving towards the girl, right? And then he bungee jumps from the hot air balloon. This is all things that happen. He bungee jumped from the hot air balloon and got her and brought her back up. And all 4 of these jet skis ran into each other.
I love how you're like there's some really great things except for this really bad part. Like you can't talk positively. You can't do it.
Because it's like, why are you spending money on this? Like, this is what bothers me. It's like, you have a cool idea for a movie, but they're making it into something. Especially like for the time that it came out. You know? Movies are starting to transition away from that. That's the whole thing we were watching about they mentioned like Jurassic Park, then Episode 1, Phantom Menace, showing like what you could do with CGI, and the fact that all of this stuff was practical effects. You know,
Well, you gotta think this was made. I think what right during when
like the first real experimentations with big budget CGI.
Yeah,
like that.
But yeah, this movie special effects wise, I'm trying to think of what. I can't really think of like a big.
I mean, I just like the way that he moved with the boat. Like,
yeah, I mean the actions when they were chasing him and the boat. I guess that was kind of
yes,
neat.
okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to like. There's points that were cheesy within the whole like thing, but like when the plane is above him and he's like trying to like defend the boat, and he's got
that's right.
It's kind of neat, like how everything kind of happens, how fast the actions move. He's jumping around. She's sort of like aiming the harpoon.
Yeah,
thing.
She wants to help, but she actually just makes it worse.
Like that part's actually really really good.
Yeah.
It's just like, but then I counter that with like be negative. The end sequence, the big like his thing his coming infiltration. In. It's literally him running down like a driveway, like with no one on it. Like it's literally, you could tell it's a lot. Like it's a lot.
Yep.
Like that you just run down a street but it's a boat.
Yep.
And it's just like
it's supposed to be like an air. It's got like the top like an aircraft carrier somehow, even though it was this oil tank.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, where is this giant runway that he's running? Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Like, and where did everyone else go? It's whatever. Yeah, like
are they all below? And like, this boat is big, but it can't fit that many people. Like, this boat would have keeled over.
I mean, the set. There's some really cool sets, like them building the set in the water. That's kind of neat. Like,
it is, but it looks like shit. Like, I get it's supposed to, but it just like gray and ugly. Like, there's nothing of. It really paints a terrible picture.
Because in the future, metal and wood decay, but not cigarettes.
Yes. There's the preservatives in them somehow keep them waterproof. But like imagine like
oh wait, I'm sorry, I'll cut you off.
No, go ahead.
The shot of him going to see the city. I'm giving it a little bit more like a time thing. Like, okay, when it was made. That was cool for when it was made.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I remember
and a cool like reveal for her.
Yeah.
Like
even though it's in the trailer. But like
I know, what a terrible trailer.
But like I remember when I saw it as a kid. Because like I remember like, yeah, we might say, oh, it was in the trailer. But when you watch a trailer, it's so like fast first time seeing a trailer.
Sure.
You don't really remember it when you go to watch the film.
No, you're not. Yeah. You process it differently. It's just kind of exciting.
Yeah, it's like because the reveal.
You might remember something. You're like, oh, was that in the movie? Like, I don't remember seeing that part.
Yeah,
sometimes you do, but
like the reveal of it in the film was kind of neat. It's like you want to see dry land? You want to see it? This is what we're gonna do. Like, and we as the viewer, you're like, oh, we're gonna go dry land now. Okay, cool. But then he puts her underwater. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. That I thought was a cool reveal. So I'll give it that one. Like, that's a good part of it.
Because she's like asking him, "You've seen dry land, haven't you?" It's like, yeah, actually, I have. It's like, all right, we're gonna come with you then. Okay, and asking him like, "Will you take me?" He's like, "We're already here." Showing.
So why does he have?
It should be like the biggest secret, Like there's a way to do this movie that could be really, really. There's, what movie I would recommend for you to watch, and here's number 8. It's called The Day After. And it was a TV movie, I think, but it was really, really good. I watched it not terribly long ago. It's about like what would happen if there was like a nuclear exchange with Russia. It's like a Cold War movie, and it's about the day after. What happens? Like, how do people like pick up pieces, try to like carry on with life? And it's really interesting. Like, you could do a kind of very like small scale version of this movie. That's like more of a mystery, like trying to figure out, like, you as the audience member, like, where are these people? What's going on? Why are they on the ocean? And then you have a reveal scene like that with Costner taking them down. Like, he's saying, like, once you take us to land, like, we want to just get to land. And it's like, you want to see land? All right, I'll show you.
Well, like having the planet, like, even though it might be,
I'm
obvious,
trying to like raise the stakes.
But like have it like a Planet of the Apes type of reveal. Like, this is actually.
At the very end.
You know what I mean? Like,
you're kind of wondering, like, what place is this? Yeah, there's nothing that really gives you the impression. almost like Interstellar. If you saw that, where that was like the watery planet,
I didn't see
where
that.
it's like it looks like it could just be people in a pool, like but the way that they set up the shot, it really feels like an alien world that's just like
Yeah.
covered with like a certain amount.
Well,
of
yeah.
water,
If you
like,
added more, like say you added more variety, I'm not trying to make it like Star Wars. Maybe make the mutants have maybe different types of mutants, like different types of
more than one,
like
yeah,
why is a mutant? I mean, yeah, he evolved to deal with water,
adaptation.
but like
Developing
it's
adaptation.
weird that it took this long for only one person in the movie to have that.
But it's 20 years, right?
Oh yeah,
Remember, it's actually really fast if you think about evolution working.
Yeah.
He's got 2 gills, 2 functioning gills.
So creepy.
Oh yeah, I know. And the way that the guy like pulls his ear at the beginning, it makes me cringe every time. I feel for him. I feel like, what does it feel like if somebody puts their fingers behind your ears?
You're like, used to like call it like a vagina on his ear, like that.
Well, that's what it. It's pussy lips, man.
Oh my god! This is not a family friendly episode.
Sorry.
Never is.
Well, I mean, that's what it really looks like behind his ears, which is maybe not good for him. A lot of those guys on the atoll maybe haven't seen a lot of new women.
I'm just curious how that works biology wise. Like he can breathe normally, but then he also breathes through the gills.
He can breathe.
Like, is it like a choice, or is it just like a thing just happens when he
I bet it's like like he can't control it. Like if you have a function, like if you try to stop yourself from breathing, you can't consciously. Like I can't hold my breath forever. My body will stop me. So if I went underwater, or like if he goes underwater, like something must just happen automatically. Got to be like, I don't know. They clearly didn't think this hard about it. Why do we?
That's what makes
it. The allegory of the stepdad. That's really what I think this movie is about.
I'm just gonna say
stepdad.
I'm just gonna say okay.
Yeah, Kevin Costner is a total. Well, he treats the girl. I think it's past the line of child abuse.
I don't know. I feel like
threw her off the boat once.
No, but what kind of stepdad are you talking about? Because like seriously, like are stepdads like this that much of a jerk? Usually you're really nice to the kid at first.
I don't mean to shit on stepdads. I'm sorry. That's not what I mean. What I'm saying is like this movie, this like relationship with her is like the theme is like him marrying into a family, having to get along because he's like a recluse. He lives by himself.
Well,
and now he's got like a relationship going, but now he's got to deal with also having a child, like now being a father. And he didn't want that, but now he's like learned to embrace it.
Well, he had to take them because of a deal, right? Like she lets them out. That was the only reason that they're there.
Yes, she released them. You'll take me to dryland.
Horrible.
Oh yeah, the decomposing pit. That's great. That's where you get your soup. It's also where you go when you die.
God, what do you think that actually was in the movie? Like, what do you think the actual?
Like made of? I bet like oatmeal or something.
Like, do you think he was actually in something disgusting, or is it like delicious?
Whatever it is, I'm sure it's not delicious because I'm sure it's the wrong temperature. Like I'm sure it's like whatever, like delicious. It's like probably turmeric and oatmeal. It's like stained yellow.
Because what in his mouth? It was like just like it's like
He goes, sure. That's how he makes the deal. He's such a charismatic person. I really want to think of a better person. And you say Liam Neeson. I want to know, like, right now, play Mariner in a remake of this movie.
Well, like now, currently?
Right now, who would be a good better or contender for this?
I can't. I honestly, for some reason, Hugh Jackman popped in my head.
Not huge Hugh Jackman.
No.
Like lean, wiry. I think Viggo Mortensen would be a good Mariner. Because he's and he could be the long hair, long beard type guy. Yeah, I think Viggo Mortensen would make a good Mariner. I think we could rewrite this movie.
Is that what we're doing?
And we would not call it Waterworld. We would call it something else.
What would you call it? World of Water?
I would think we would come up with something. Something. even if it was like off topic, it didn't have the word the shape of water. There's a good idea. Completely original idea for a movie. Is that a good one?
That's 10 we're at now, tallied up.
Nice even number. Well, I think we need to bring this one home.
What's your favorite moment?
Favorite moment?
Did we talk about that already?
No, what's yours? Moment. What is your favorite moment of this movie? Mine's when he blows up the big boat and they all die.
When the credits roll?
Movie ends.
The credits roll? That
because then there's still 20 minutes to go. There's horses. See wild horses, which is cool. You know what? That's my favorite moment. Wild horses. Getting to see some greenery and not the atoll. Terrible living.
Favorite moment. I mean, we talked about him dealing with the boat. I guess it's kind of neat, but I don't know. I do like him chasing her around with the crayons. I just find that really hilarious. Stop riding on my boat.
Oh.
But I don't know. I guess my favorite moment was when they go in the underwater. I like that. To be honest,
that's a cool moment.
That's my favorite one.
So that's the emotional feels, right? Showing you the past life, and she gets to see because where are they? It's kind of recognizable, right? Where they go?
Well, that was the thing we made a comment of. It's how did he just know where the city was?
Yeah,
it's not
there's so much water compared to land that he's just I'll pick a random spot and look, it's New York City. That's a very good question. It wasn't Tulsa or something.
I know it's not he's the whole world is water, except for I guess Mount Everest. If you watch the deleted scenes, I didn't realize.
Well, what do you mean? That's
Did they show that in the regular movie at Is it Mount Everest?
Oh, the plaque. I think the plaque.
Oh, I must have.
Think so, but it's a very brief, just to show you that's where they are.
But it is. But then that doesn't make sense. I don't understand. They went north to go to Mount Everest. So where's Mount Everest? Right? Isn't that in Asia?
Yeah.
Okay, so they went north.
So what city was that? They saw
Sydney?
Was that really how far they went? Sydney?
Well, what else would be below that?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Bangkok? Seriously. I don't know.
Hong Kong?
I mean, yeah.
There is an Asian guy, in the
It's true. It could be. But they all speak Portuguese. It's hard to figure this out. Such a melting pot, this world. I feel like these were all the human beings that are left in this movie. Well, this is what's left of the human race.
But that's what I was that's why I was confused. It's these smokers only attack this one little alcove thing. It's only these people we ever deal with. It's even after they get attacked and they leave, for some reason that whole community is still trying to survive, and following them around.
They ended up making another atoll, a really crappy version of it. And it's we're starting to get one. We've got sticks.
Yeah, if the smokers are this well off, if they raid,
wouldn't you just join them?
Yeah,
you're can we join you? We'll give you our stuff. You have a dry place I can sleep. Yes, please. Well, can I have a hammock and the big hanger of hammocks?
And the atoll didn't really have anything for them to steal anyway. So what were they doing there anyway? That's what I don't understand. They had 3 things in the store.
Dirt. Well, they wanted the information. That's what they were doing. They were trying to get.
How do they know it was there?
That's a good question.
Initially, I know the guy found out.
It must be a rumor, from traders. Yeah. Because I'll say that's one of my favorite scenes. Is one of the opening ones with the limes. The guy comes and steals from his boat. That's the opening scene, and then he eventually chases him and cuts his sail with the catamaran, and he does he points at him and gives him this, and the smokers come. It's a good scene, but why did they kill that guy? What did they take from him? What if that guy was hello, smokers, I embrace you. May I join your crew? Here, I can give you some things. Would they have taken him?
Anyway, I don't know. We'll never know. We'll never find out.
I don't know. How do you become?
Would you recommend this movie?
Would he give you a cigarette and be will you smoke this? Then you'll pass them.
Oh my God.
Become a smoker.
You don't give all those precious cigarettes out to newbies. Come on, that's gotta be. You gotta earn that.
Who's making all these cigarettes? How is he keeping these people? They're addicted to it.
All right.
How? They would need so many because they're all constantly smoking.
Yep.
The worst that they say like nicotine addiction can get is like you can't go 15, 20 minutes without eating. 20 minutes. So like there's kids that are smoking. And by the time they're adults, all right.
I don't know. We're going on a tangent.
Apparently the Juan Valdez oil tanker sank with a ton of SMEAT and cigarettes. Or they figured out how to make these things themselves.
What?
It's like Soylent Green, the movie.
Oh god, another reference to another movie.
SMEAT is people. It's people.
That's why they're rating everyone. Get it? Perfect. Makes sense.
Yeah, they're eating them. That's what SMEAT is.
Are they making the black stuff out of people too? Can you do that?
They're feeding the black stuff?
I don't know anymore. Anyways, would you recommend this movie to people?
I think it's a see it, just to believe it. Watch it once. Like you said, watch it with some drinks.
With a friend.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely with a friend.
Beer.
Yeah. It's a good time. It's a good time. It's horrible, but it's a good time.
You can just ignore some of the skeevier scenes. Yeah. Get ready for a lot of Kevin Costner with wet hair, though. That's the real thing. Soggy Costner is the theme of this movie.
Anyways.
He's not a really... he doesn't really look good wet.
No.
You know, they should have done that in the screen test.
I mean...
Who looks good wet?
Well, it was his movie, so like I don't think... Remember, like...
And then his wife divorced him halfway through making the movie. His wife of 16
because she saw him wet.
You're so wet, you stink of fish. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I get it. I get it. On that note, I say I agree with Kevin Costner's wife, and so long, and made this movie rest in peace, and let's never watch it again.
Yeah, I think that's good.
So next time, Justin, we don't know exactly what we'll do next time, but we'll be back.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more.
Not in person, maybe. Yeah. But I don't know. This is fun, though, for our 100th episode.
Very fun.
Great to see you.
Great to see you. This is the test I thought you were going to give me.
Geez.
Don't move. Those chairs are so loud.
Inside joke. All right, I'm going to go. I got to drive home. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, Justin.
Hello.
Hello. This is how we talk.
Kevin Costner is weird.
Kevin Costner. Kevin Spacey. Syphilis. What? Testing. I'm just testing.
Syphilis.